Let's go to Israel now and catch up with Gerald Steinberg again. He's the Professor of Politics at Bar-Ilan University, joining us live from Jerusalem. Great to talk to you again, Gerald. You must have been blown away by Donald Trump's announcement yesterday. Tell me what you make of this plan and where it will go from here.
It's hard to be blown away by anything that Trump says these days, but I think there's a strategy, there's a logic behind this. It's not something he just pulled out of a hat. And we heard his spokesperson saying that the same people have been saying the same slogans year after year. And you also had your prime minister speaking, making those same statements, those same slogans, something called a two-state solution, which nobody knows how it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you got to come up with something different. So what Trump has done is he's shaken up the system. He's thrown this thing out there. I don't think anybody expects it to be actually implemented. And you mentioned some of the obstacles, some of the complexities that would have to be dealt with. Boots on the ground, huge amounts of money, getting 2 million or 1.5 million, the numbers are very unclear, people out of Gaza, putting them in Egypt and Jordan and Morocco and other places temporarily, whatever that means. So we're not really talking about a plan. We're talking about thinking about this whole process and the whole region in a very different way without the usual slogans. The Palestinians are nowhere near being able or even willing to consider creating a real state. What they've been doing and what they've been told for 76 years is we're going to get rid of Israel. We're going to go back to before 1948. And that's what led to all these wars. It's what led to the Hamas atrocities of October 7th and everything else. Trump is saying we've got to change that. Now, you come up with a better plan, he says to the Arab leaders who tell him you can't do that. To the Saudis, the Egyptians, the Jordanians. You don't like my plan? Give me something better. Qatar. You're going to have to pay for all of this, figure it all out. And I think that's what, as a disruptor, and that's why he likes Elon Musk so much. Musk is a disruptor in the technology area. Let's do something very different because the other plans haven't worked. I'll just add one more thing. That Trump also cut off finally all the U.S. funding for this United Nations Refugee and Works Agency that was created in 1949 to perpetuate the Palestinian victimhood myth and keep them as defined as refugees. We're in 4 generations. And what they've done with that money is they built this huge terror machine, as we saw under Gaza. Australians pay, I think, $25 million a year. Not just wasted.
It's outrageous. Well, it's more than wasted. Some of it goes to fund terrorism and certainly the radicalisation of children and the like. Just briefly, I want to get a sense from you about the reaction in Israel. Now, Israel being the liberal democracy it is, you will having all sorts of reactions there. But is there general positivity about this or is it mainly criticism?
No, there's a lot of support for Trump's words. Prime Minister Netanyahu endorsed them, and people within the coalition, the politicians, are very much supportive. The media is much more, journalists are much more skeptical. The opposition is more skeptical. And I think some of the things that I said reflect that this is not going to be a realistic plan, but it's a way to shake things up. And Israelis, to a large degree, understand that. What comes next is the major question, and we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
what is the United States going to do, and are they going to lead?
Yeah, and what Saudi Arabia, Egypt and Jordan prepared to sign up to, we shall see. It's fascinating. We'll keep in touch, Gerald. Appreciate your time.